Tom Brady once lived in this house on rent. The 58th mayor of Tampa Bay once lived as a neighbor to Jeter, and so did former NFL player Brad Culpepper. Stephen Gay of the Smith & Associates Real Estate once called it the most impressive home to ever hit the Tampa Bay area. This incredible mansion, which was famously owned by Derek Jeter, is sadly about to be demolished. But why? And what is about to happen to Jeter's other mansions and his rich lifestyle? Let's find out. First of all, why should you even care about a home you don't know much of, really? Well, it is because the house is nicknamed St. Jetersburg by the locals. Okay, just kidding. It's actually nicknamed St. Jetersburg, but on a more serious note, this mansion is legendary. It's a monumental home that looks like an island in downtown Tampa. It covers nearly 33,000 square feet overall and is located at 58 Bahamas Circle. Derek built this house from the ground up, and now it's about to be demolished. Okay, wait. Before we get too emotional, let's get a little more detail. According to New York Times, construction of this house began in 2005 and 2006 when Jeter's corporation, Carrad Connors LLC, purchased 3 lots close to the Bahamas Circle for $7.7 million. But it wasn't until years later that construction started. First things first, Jeter tackled the fence. Because of privacy, Jeter fought the law to have his fence as high as 6 feet, and the Davis Island Civic Association had to vote to allow the exception. The wall then achieved the name of the Great Wall of Jeter. Even while the house was being constructed, there was a lot of media coverage, and neighborhood residents wanted to have a peek at Jeter's gigantic home. The house is so big that Rays coach Madden once joked that it could be used as a stadium for the Tampa Bay Rays. Construction finished in 2012, and the result was a mind-blowing, luxurious home for Jeter. The house covered 22,000 feet with 345 feet of open bay water views, while the porches and balconies spanned 9,000 feet and the saltwater lap pool covered 80 feet. The mansion also has a dock with 2 boat lifts, an outdoor kitchen, a grill area, and a 6-car air-conditioned garage. But inside the house, there are 7 bedrooms and 8 full bathrooms with 6 half bathrooms. The estate has gigantic hardwood doors, floor-to-ceiling windows that expose the amazing view of the bay outside, and a 24-foot ceiling which puts in perfect display the amazing architecture of hand-carved limestone and granite from Connecticut. Your eyes are also blessed with hand-polished Venetian plaster, mosaic tiles made of marble, and then there are other beautiful finishes with high professional detailing. The house has a formal living and dining room with an aquarium tank and fireplace. In other parts of the building, you'd find a wine cellar, professional gym, and in-law suite. The gourmet kitchen comes with 2 Sub-Zero fridges, 4 dishwashers, a walk-in pantry, a wolf range, 2 marble-topped islands, and a butler's pantry. Qualities that would make for a very huge gathering in case Jeter invited guests over for dinner. With 3 daughters, himself and his wife can also enjoy some great quality time with games at a game table with billiards. There's also a movie theater, multiple TVs, and a sitting area. Jeter and his wife, who are Catholics, had lived there for nearly 6 years, but had to move out in September 2017 after he acquired shares of the Miami Marlins. Now CEO, he and his family moved into a rented condo in Coconut Grove, Miami. The mansion at Tampa Bay was later rented 3 years later in April 2020 by legendary quarterback Tom Brady. The rent reportedly cost Brady and his supermodel wife, Gisele Bündchen, around $75,000 monthly. Brady had moved in following his huge 2-year, $50 million contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But something was up with this arrangement. The agreement between Jeter and Brady was that the owner of the mansion could market and list the house even as it was occupied by the Bradys. Now you might be wondering why Brady didn't just buy it since he would be spending 2 years with the Bucs. Well, the answer lied in the closeness to water that people were always boating in to catch a glimpse of the celebrities. So just months of the Bradys moving in, the house was listed for $29 million, and Stephen Gay, who provided the listing, described the mansion, stating, "This is the most impressive home to ever hit the market in the Tampa Bay area. It's the perfect fit for the luxury-minded buyer who wants the utmost in quality and impeccable attention to detail, in conjunction with the security and privacy that this 1.25-acre walled estate provides." While Derek Jeter, who owned it, said, "Davis Islands provided a quiet, safe, and friendly lifestyle that we will always cherish." As Brady waited to be evicted from the mansion pending when they got a buyer, He complained about the lack of privacy, stating, "I forgot people could drive up to your house. They can just pull right up to the back of the house." Derek did a pretty good job of screening it. "I am a little bit of an introvert. I feel like my house is my place. I can relax. When you're outside the house, you understand everything with being me. In the backyard, there's a lot of boats that have pulled up and people at the front." But before he could even get fed up with the place, Jeter got a buyer, an undisclosed person who purchased it for $22 million in May 2021. So this means that Jeter didn't really lose anything but the sentiment and reputation that came with St. Petersburg. But we're still curious to know what he thinks of the news about the demolishing of his former prized possession. The application to turn the monument to rubble was initiated in mid-September 2022. It's believed that the house is at risk of flooding, and if there would ever be another house built there, it would have to be way higher off the ground. And maybe this time around, Tom Brady would want to buy it since it would be difficult for fans to gain visual access. Anyway, while we await any comments from Jeter, the neighbors around are not pleased with the idea of tearing it down. One of them, named Becky Franks, reportedly said, "It's such a shame to have to tear down such a gorgeous, prestigious, wonderful, famous place." Another, named Brian True, speaking about fans of Brady and Jeter, said, "They used to park in my driveway to come down to his house." Nevertheless, it appears Jeter has already moved on long ago from everything that has to do with the mansion at Tampa Bay. Besides, he does have other real estate possessions, and he's involved in big businesses, moves here and there. Many sports players can hardly compete with Derek Jeter, who played his entire 20-year major league career as an incredible shortstop with the New York Yankees, who was called to 14 All-Star games and became a Hall of Famer in his first year of selection. And speaking of big business moves, Jeter, even in retirement, has a net worth of $200 million. This is according to WealthyGorilla.com. He still continues to amass a lot of wealth from endorsement deals such as Gatorade, Nike, Gillette, Jumpman, Skippy Peanut Butter, and many more. One is no longer surprised to see him in TV commercials, TV specials, and documentaries anymore. He isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Mr. November, as he was nicknamed, who had 260 home runs in nearly 3,000 games and won 5 World Series, currently has multiple homes or real estate investments. There is a colonial estate in Greenwood Lake, New York, he purchased in 2003 for nearly $500,000, which he later listed for sale in 2018 for $14.75 million, a huge return on investment. Once upon a time, he owned a penthouse in the Trump World Tower, but before he had moved to his mansion in Tampa Bay in 2012, he sold it for a whopping $15 million. He is also looking to probably build yet another St. Petersburg in the new land he just purchased in Coral Gables, Florida for $16.6 million. Where he currently lives in Miami with his family is in Coral Gables. It's an 8-bedroom mansion he purchased in 2018 for a small $6.5 million, according to his standards. At least from this space, which has a bar, gazebo, courtyard, a pool, and other fancy amenities, running the Miami Marlins won't be much of a commute. Derek Jeter also spends an incredible amount of money on cars, especially the most expensive Mercedes-Benz and Porsche sport models that are worth millions of dollars. But it's not just luxuries and flashy life alone for him. He knows how to give back to society as well. He founded the Turn 2 Foundation in 1996 when he was only still a rookie. He'd founded it with his father, Dr. Charles Jeter, to encourage children to turn to healthy lifestyles and away from drugs, alcohol, and delinquency. Foundation helps hundreds of young adults every year in areas like New York, West Michigan, and Tampa Bay to develop positive qualities of leadership, academic excellence, and social change. Jeter's managed to give back $30 million with his amazing foundation. We wonder if you know anybody that might have benefited from the Turn 2 Foundation. Love to hear about them in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video about Derek Jeter, check out the video on the screen now, or the one we posted below, because we're sure you'll like that one too. See you there.